What's up, everybody? I'm here, Nicholas Kusmich, at War Room, Pelican Hill. Beautiful resort out here. We're at War Room. It's just about to get going. And in this episode of Netting Up, I'm going to take you behind the scenes of a little bit about what goes on here and see if I could pull a few people aside to have a few conversations on some tips that can help you. So let's go in and see what's going on. I wanted to pull Ryan aside just really quickly because here's the deal. We got business owners growing their businesses, looking to find some strategies or things I could do to take it to the next level. I thought no better person than you yourself to might share something with them. So if you had, a few minutes with someone, what kind of advice would you give them?
Sure. And what's fun is I'm launching some new companies right now, so I get to take that thing. If you had to start all over again, what would you do? Right. And so I'm kind of doing that, not starting all over, but starting anew. But I think this applies no matter what stage you're at in business. Go to Quora.com. Quora. I think we'll fix it in the thing below, I'm sure. But go to Quora.com and look at the questions that people are asking about your market, right? See what are the questions that they're asking, and try to come up with the top 10. Okay, because if you will make a video like what we're shooting right now, answering the top 10 questions, you can post these videos onto Facebook, YouTube. LinkedIn is a biggie if you're B2B. Drive advertising to it, follow up, use it in your retargeting. But right now, nothing's working better for us than just giving very tight, concise, specific answers. The tactical stuff, right? Stop floating around. I'm all for having a mission and a vision. That's great, but nobody cares about your mission and vision until you've answered at least one critical question. So figure out the 10 critical questions that your audience is asking, make 10 simple videos, and maybe once you've done 10, you make 10 more. But I found 10's 10 more than most people do. 10's usually enough. So there you go. Post it everywhere, drive traffic to it, follow up, retarget to some lead magnets, some offers, and there's your marketing plan. Yep.
Beautiful. Love it. Thank you, Ryan.
Thanks.
With the man himself, Roland Frazier. Hey,
everybody.
Roland's always got some great advice to share, so I thought I'd pull him aside and have him share that advice. So what do you think?
I mean, the three best things that I could give really quickly would be focus on valuation and building wealth, not just building income.
Yes.
That's something that a lot of people make a mistake of.
Including me.
Yeah, create an asset that you can actually sell and go and do it again. Because if you can create an asset that you can sell most assets sell for a multiple of income.
Right.
If you did that every, say, 3 years and you were selling at a multiple of even as low as 5, that means every 3 years you're making 5 years of income. So after, say, 9 years, you would have made 15 years more worth of income than anybody else, and still had all the income that you had coming in during the period, right?
Right.
So that would be one.
And so it's really just changing the mindset away from income into building assets.
Yeah, don't forget about income, because you will go bankrupt if you don't have it. But but that's just a common mistake I see people making. And then to increase valuation, one of the things we talked about too, I think when we did the podcast, is MRR, monthly recurring revenue. So there's two kinds of income. There's static income that gets valued generally at seller distributable cash, or 1 times what that income is, and then there's monthly recurring revenue, MRR, which actually gets valued typically at a multiple. So whereas one-time income might get valued at a 1x, MRR might get valued, especially in a SaaS, at 6 or 8 or even 10.
Right. Walked into the hallway, saw Richard here, president, co-founder, digital marketer, genius behind a lot of cool things happening at Digital Marketer. And as always, we want him to give you some great advice. So let's have at it.
Okay, so here's what I'll tell you quick and dirty. Avatar, customer avatar, know your ideal avatar, and here's why that's important. It's not generic advice.
Yes.
Here's why it's important. The number one thing I see people fail at is vanity metrics, especially in paid traffic, paid media, and customer acquisition. No one cares, and you shouldn't, how cheap your clicks are, how cheap your webinar registrations or your opt-ins or your leads are. If they're not buying, your conversion problem likely isn't your traffic. Your conversion problem likely is only boiled down to you're not focusing on your avatar. So know your avatar. Create ungated content that will not only engage but add value to that avatar first. Let your introduction to your avatar be one that adds value to their life.
Yes.
Then be willing to spend more money for your ideal customer. And if you do those things, if that's the way you're acquiring new customers, you'll win. People will say nice things.
Even if you're paying a little bit more for that customer.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Do you want to pay a little bit more for your ideal customer,
right,
or do you want to pay a whole lot less for someone who will never be a customer? Which one do you want?
Love that. Perfect way to end that. Don't follow the vanity metrics. Watch what works. Find your customer avatar. Make it happen from the man himself.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, buddy.
Thanks, guys.
Founder of the Genius Network, aka the 25K group, the 10X group, but you do a whole bunch of stuff.
We have a 100K group. It's all kinds of a lot of expensive stuff.
A lot of expensive stuff,
but worth it.
But worth every penny. I agree. I participate. I'm part of the fold as well. But for the entrepreneur who's watching, I mean, if they had 30 seconds with Joe Polish and that was the only 30 seconds they'd have with you, what kind of advice would you give that person?
Well, I would say think about your clients that are paying you currently and whatever product or service it is you're selling, and starting tomorrow, the only way you could get paid is if you actually produced a result in advance for them. That would force you to have to think about the value that you offer, how you communicate it, because think of selling as influence and think of marketing as storytelling.
Love that.
And how would you have to tell that story, and then really focus on why what it is you're offering is so amazing, and do that. And in order to get yourself really in a heightened state, do 10, 20, or 30 burpees before you sit down and start typing it up or writing that down. That's what I would, if I have 30 seconds, that's about a minute.
That's about a minute, but that works. That's great advice from Joe Polish himself. Thank you very much, Joe.
You're welcome.
Smartest marketer in the room.
Wow.
And we're here at War Room, by the way, which is some pretty damn smart marketers. But all the principles of DM would agree, so that's a good thing. You'd make 5 times more money if you focus on the long term than you would the short term.
Yes.
What does that mean?
Well, that means that not everybody's ready to buy right now.
Most people.
5 times more people are going to buy in the next 18 months than they are in the first 90 days.
So what does that mean for like a business owner who's probably only thinking about the buyer who's going to buy right now?
Yes. Don't give up on them, the ones that are going to buy right now.
Don't give up on them.
No, we want everybody to buy right now, but we also want the people who are going to buy in 18 months. And so to really understand that and to not do anything that's going to jeopardize your relationship with them in the long term. A lot of times we talk about it that sometimes real hardcore marketers, we fetishize that first 30-day conversion and the EPC and all that language, and then we like drop people who are not ready
bad
right
leads.
now. Yeah, they're bad leads, and we'll say you're dead to me. And that's costing you money. You know, the real thing is all of the long-term view of this.
Yeah, and how do you then tailor to the long term? I mean, we use terms like nurture, or whatnot.
Just add value.
Yes,
I mean, that's really the thing. It's like
revolutionary.
I only think in 2 time frames. I think there's now and not now.
I love that. Yeah.
And if it's not now, then we just continue to add value and put things in front of people so that the time that it is now, we're right there and we're ready for them.
I love that. You heard it. You heard it.
There we go.
From Dean Jackson, ladies and gentlemen. Bumped into my good friend, Michael Burnoff. Top dude in the space
going on?
when it comes to sales, influence, mind, all this kind of stuff. Dude, if someone had like 30 seconds with you and they were like, hey man, changed my life, brother. Not that happened.
That's a lot of pressure. I must get everywhere I go.
But what might be something that you could tell them that might do that for them?
I would say the number one thing that most people do, everybody wants to make like a big shift or a big change in their life, and they go to events, they get turned on by big ideas. The number one thing I would tell you is to truly know your average. And I know that you're huge on this with Facebook and marketing, about people knowing their individual average on like how their marketing stuff's doing. But here's my question: what do you do on a regular basis? Just to challenge yourself to take a look at your week, and what do you do on an average basis, from whether it's health, whether it's your fitness stuff, whether it's your sales marketing. What do you do automatically, and grow from there? Most people want to grow from horrible or dead or I feel like shit or whatever it is. I feel like down here, growing from where you're already doing well allows you to make exponential growth. And the biggest reason why is you make your life a lot easier. So find out what you do automatically, know what your average is, and then do things outside of your average and get yourself to grow. So that would be my subtle idea. Look at your life like that, and it's a global thing. You can look at your relationships and everything. What's your automatic and what is above your normal average, what you would do on a normal basis.
Hey, I'm with Michael O'Neill, host of the amazing podcast, The Solopreneur Hour, or solohour.com. One of the best podcasts out there, frankly, in terms of people who are solopreneurs, figuring out better ways to do what they do with their business, increasing that. Anyways, I'm almost confident that if you're watching this, you've probably considered starting a podcast of sorts, but just have some questions around that. Anyways, I thought I'd pull Michael aside just to give some insight, some nuggets, some benefits on what you need to know about that.
Two things about podcasts that I think most people don't know.
Yeah.
Number one, the second you get a microphone and you publish it on iTunes, you are in the media. You are now competing against Netflix, broadcast television, YouTube, anything else. So that those competition are probably better than you at those things. So that means you got to up your game. You got to be a good host. You have to pay attention to what people did before you.
Right.
The 80 years of broadcast radio. Pay attention to what those hosts do. Because the listener can tell right away if you've got chops or not, right? So the second thing is that entertainment has to come first. And what I mean by that is, think about how you learned when you were in school. You had some teacher that was dynamic, told great stories, you were totally engaged in what they were saying. So the content came after the entertainment. And what happens way too often, especially in the marketing world, is like, actionable content and value.
That's
and
all that matters.
It's all that matters.
No.
It's not all that matters.
True.
Because otherwise you got, remember that guy that was on like Comedy Central that talked like this? I forget the guy's name, but nobody
can't get through the content.
Nobody wants to read bullet points to learn. You know what I mean?
Right.
I can't just be like, here's 10 ways to do this, and you're going to be bored out of your gourd. So entertainment, so storytelling. And a great way to do this is to think about some of the funniest things that have ever happened in your life, and then relate the business side to those stories. So we all have crazy stories. So what's the business lesson within that story? That's a good way to become a little more entertaining.
I love that. With the man, Chris Reichert, just got off stage giving a wicked talk around gamification and stuff like that. But Chris, here's the deal. We got a lot of entrepreneurs who are growing their businesses. Not all of them know you. Not all of them are going to get actual personal time with you. If they had some time with you, what's like the number one piece of advice that you could give someone?
What I just talked about on stage, which is I've sold things for high ticket, low ticket, mid ticket, you name it.
Yeah.
But nothing has made me more money than giving things away for free.
So true.
So inside of your business model, if you want to get more sales of whatever product or service you're selling, think of something you could do to give away for free that could attract tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, maybe even millions of people, and a certain percentage of them will end up upgrading to other products. Free is the future.
Free is the future, and I like that word you use actually, like upgrade, where anyone who's engaged with you on a free level, they could come in and upgrade to other things that you're doing.
Yes. Study gamification. And the upgrades are like in-app purchases. Games that are killing it right now are giving their games away for free, but then in the game you could do in-app purchases. Think of your business like that. What can you give away for free and make the products in-app purchases?
Love that. Chris Reichert. Some love. Oh, what a great couple of days. War Room, I gotta say, one of my favorite things to do a couple times a year, and exceptionally because so many amazing people in one room together with one great organization that is essentially on the bleeding edge of what's going on today in the digital advertising world. You know, it was great catching up with friends. It was great meeting new people. It was great connecting and all the amazing things. And what I can honestly say is that every time I step foot in an environment like this, I leave fully equipped to walk away with 10x my investment and have a great plan of what to do in the next quarter. So hey, look, if you're not part of something like War Room or some other kind of mastermind thing where you can get together with some really intelligent people, you can, scheme up some great strategy for your business. It's something you should definitely look into because, as the old saying goes, it's not what you know, but who you know that makes a big difference. So that's it for me. I'm exhausted. What a tired couple of days, but I'm excited for what it's about to bring. And of course, I'm going to take you with me on the journey. Hey, if you like that episode, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, enjoy the ride, and we'll see you soon. Vince Reed giving a talk. Tucker's texting instead of I'm paying attention.
I'm watching porn on Snapchat.
I'm watching porn on Snapchat. We won't tell Vince.